Welcome everybody to the next installment of Foreman Community Demos. We have a shorter lineup today, but lots of good stuff to show off, from remote execution to scope search conversions to OpenSCAP updates. A reminder to those watching the YouTube, you can either submit questions on the Q&A app or you can ask questions in one of the various IRC channels. As I will be monitoring both for questions. With that, we'll get started. Over to the remote execution team with updates since the last demo.
Hello, so let me share my screen. I should be okay with just a browser today. So we should see my browser. So the first thing before I get into the code itself or the feature itself is that we got the manual merged. So on the Foreman documentation in the plugins, we got this nice icon with remote execution where you can find the latest version, and we will keep or continue releasing new menus as the new versions will roll up. So this is the version that we've got for the initial release that we also are just doing. The gems are there, the RPMs are there as well. The Debian packages are in pull request. There are still some improvements in the RPMs as well. So once we have this built into Nightly's, we will send the announcement on the Foreman Dev mailing list as well. So here, if you are more interested into how to get started and how to use the new features there, this manual should be quite comprehensive for you. So there's one thing good for you to know. And since the last demo, we did some work on showing the task statuses. So you can remember from the last demo, we used Foreman Task UI for showing the information. Since it has most of the data that we need, but on the other hand, there are better ways how to represent this data. So that's what we did this sprint. So let's see what I have. I have some job templates, and it's very similar to what you've seen last demo. So I have here some ping command that is just calling ping sometime or some amount of tries to some domain. So what I will do is running this to all hosts in my setup. So I will run job and choose to ping, and I will ping Google.com. So once I submit that, I'm getting into the job invocation details page. We don't have any JavaScript there just yet, so we need to refresh manually. But you can see that we now see the amount of tasks or hosts that were failed directly. So we can basically see how the job is proceeding. So I have 54% running and 55 already failed. 1% missing is just rounding error. So I can go into see all hosts that were run with the task, and I can get to details of a particular task to see what happened. And I got an error, no route to host, which just means that this host is down on purpose, just to show that we can show this information right away. Once I refresh one more time, we can see that the rest of the hosts finished. So if I go to details of this one, again, now I see the task detail page for this particular host. In future, we expect also these pages to not be directly the Foreman task one, but we can show more details from the command itself. So we track also things like timestamps of the lines and so on, what's standard out, what's standard error, and so on. So these are all the things that can come in future. Also, you can go to monitor on jobs to see all the jobs that were invoked. So you can see I did some preparation for the demo. One last thing that didn't work well last time, so just to show that it's really working now, is canceling. So when I invoke this again, and I can cancel all the tasks. I could go just to one and cancel that. And when I refresh and I go to details of some, so this is with the connection error. Let's see if I find some that was cancelled. I think the 10 was running. Yeah, so you can see that the command started, but at some time at some point in time, the term status was sent. We can't show the exit status here because we don't get it when the term signal is sent through the SSH. But I think this should be quite descriptive of what happened. So we have a deep dive planned for Monday where we will go over the full feature again, but we will also focus more on the implementation details and how it works on the back end. So anyone that's interested and wants to discuss with us and give us some feedback, it's good time on Monday to join us for this deep dive. We'll announce the packages around once they are ready, so I expect today or tomorrow. And we also have a pull request to the installer, but this will not be part of the 1.9. So for 1.9 release, this work is compatible with that. We'll just not have the installer. So, but if you follow the manual pages in the documentation, you should be able to get this up and running with 1.9 as well. But we still run on this repository, so to enable that. Once we are more confident with the stability, we'll push also the packages into 1.9. But everyone is welcome to try it out already. That's it.
All right, thank you, Yvonne. Moving on, we'll look at Foreman OpenSCAP notifications.
Hi. Let me just share my screen. Okay, you should see my screen now. Yes. Hi, today I'll be doing a demo of OpenSCAP notifications. If you are familiar with, for example, Puppet notifications, this won't be all that new to you. Basically, we can subscribe to notifications and receive info about our policies and our hosts, whether they're failing or they're compatible. You can do this in the users page, which you can get to by administer users. Under email preferences, there is OpenSCAP policy summary. I'm subscribed to receive daily updates. Now I'm going to run a reg task that actually sends the email. If my Zeus is online, looks like it is. It should take only a moment. There we go. And now when I reload this, there should be a new mail. And we can see I don't have too many hosts subscribed right now. We can see there is a dashboard. There is no change in host status, one is incompliant, and for my policy with host, I can see the host name, how many rules are passed, how many failed, and if there has been any change. That's about it from me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we will go over to myself, just to show a small update that we did on the Katello side. So let me change what I'm sharing. So real quick, in the past, because Katello had been an app, it had its own sort of dashboard framework, and previously, if you went to the monitor menu, you would have seen a dashboard and content dashboard. Now we have finally moved away from that. For which will be in the next release, not 2.3, but 2.4 of Katello, to be on one dashboard using the plugin API. So if you go to the menu, you won't see the content dashboard link anymore. You will see the regular dashboard link. And when you come there, you will see the same widgets and can manage the widgets the same as other widgets. Removing them, adding them back, viewing their status that were previously on the content dashboard, such as history of content views, latest errata, sync overview. All the functionality that existed previously on the content dashboard can now just be found on the regular dashboard. And that's really it. So give me just a second. Next thing we'll go to is some scope search updates and conversions that come with some UI updates. And we'll start with Justin talking about RPM package updates.
All right. Yep. So you should see my screen now. We've added, as part of this scope search migration, we've actually added a packages tab to go along with our errata and Docker tab lists, so that you can browse the packages that are currently synced onto the satellite. And this follows normal scope search conventions, if I can spell correctly, for searching. And so we can click on one of these and see a variety of information about the package, all the normal metadata, a list of files that are actually in the RPM, the list of their dependencies for both providing and requiring, and then finally a list of the repositories that the RPM is in. And it's changeable by content view and lifecycle environment, so you can see, where this RPM is within a different content view. For example, this one isn't in that view. If we move over to content views, this is I'm looking at a content view, and I can click on a version. And this page was here before, but just to show you, it's now been updated as well with scope search. And the sorting is all being done by NVREA. It's hard to tell here, but this is actually correct RPM sorting. You can actually see here these first two. If this was sorted alphabetically, this guy would be ahead of this first guy, but it's actually coming second, which is correct because it's a higher version number. And as part of this conversion, we had to overhaul a large part of the app to handle going to scope search in the database instead of Elasticsearch for RPMs. including content view publishing, package deletion, all of those areas. And that is it. Handing it over to John to talk about package groups.
If you're talking, John, we can't hear you. I hear clicking, but I don't hear any talking. So if you want to take a few moments to play around with your microphone, I'll move on to the next person and come back around. All right, so while John figures out his microphone, we'll move over to Partha to give some preview updates on the OS tree features.
All right, just a second, guys. Let's see if you can see my browser. Can you see my browser?
We cannot.
Yeah, it's now. How about now?
I can see my yes.
Okay. I need to make it small. I apologize. I should have made it smaller.
John, you
All
just
right.
hold on 1 second. All right. There.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. So as part of atomic provisioning and mirroring features, Project Atomic uses OS3 as its packaging and versioning system. And so we could tell, or at least we are doing the content syncing on the Katello side. We're doing the content syncing and kind of managing the branches part using pulp, basically. So I'm going to. It's still a little unstable because I feel it's still pretty green. The project is it's changing every other day. So we had to in fact use custom builds of OS3 to get our sync stuff to work. And hopefully a new release is coming for soon. But the UI parts are there. The functionality is a little bit still unstable, and we are working on that with bugs. But I'll just show you what we have so far. At least I'll show you some sort of updates. All right, so we treat an OS3 repository is like we do, similar to the way we treat Yum in the syncing and or any other content for that matter. Yum, Puppet, Docker content, Docker images. It's similar for OS3. I'll show the UI parts today, and maybe the next cycle I can show you the Hammer side of things, the CLI side of things. So, okay, let's create a OS3 repo. And here's my OS3 repo. And so an OS3 repo typically has two parts. One is the repo itself, and this will be like the feed URL, and the other is a commit hash, or what they call a branch, basically, a branch ref you can call that. And so let me create that. And you can see that I haven't specified any branches yet, so it says no there, and we need to. So I'm going to add a branch now. Pulp is working on a new update where these branches will automatically get taught. We support what is called a summary file, but until then we have to manually specify this information. Here it is. So I have my OS3 branches here. This is one of the branches. Next, I'll just demo the sync quickly. Okay. So it's pulling the remote branches. I have my branch specified in a local direct. I have it running on my machine, but I created my own repo compose, and so it's pulling right now. While it's doing that, I can show you, instead of spending time waiting for it to finish, I'll show you the branch that I've already finished, completed. So this points to the same repo. So this basically syncs all the content there. So if I'll show you why I pulp admin. Can you guys see my terminal? Eric, can you see my terminal?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So as you can see, the units are content units are called OS3 because it's one big blob of image. It's one big blob of repackage and version and configuration data. So that's why the content units are always going to be one. So it's kind of a redundant thing. And as you can see, so if I go to like var publish, this is where there you go. This is all my content pretty much, synced content. Now, show you further. So we have this. We have the sync working, and let me next go to like the creation of content views and other parts. So sorry, let me see. Okay. David recently added this part where you can add OS3 repositories to a content view. Sorry, the demo is so huge. Okay, and let me publish this content view. And so this is pretty much the functionality we have as far as OC is concerned. We'll be able to show you. I'll be able to show you switching, getting OC to work with a consumer in the next demo. But I can show you a little bit today. So let me create a content. Let me create like an activation key here. Whatever that is. Here's my content view that I just published, and okay, let me see if I had a. Oh, sorry, I must have. What the machine was called? Oh, I had that guy shut down. Okay. Sorry. My atomic machine was down. I forgot to. Let me reboot. I need to reboot him. Okay. So I got an atomic image that is running on my libvirt. We'll be demoing provisioning of this in the next sprint demo. So for now, it's not there. All right, let me try to register this guy to my on. To show you guys that. So here's it. This points to my satellite. This points to the CD and repository. So right now, I can just show you one. So this should register it to my satellite and be consuming from the CV that we just published. I forgot. I'll add to attach the subscription. Oh, sorry. Terminal is small. So here's the subscription, the demo product. Let me attach it to this guy. So he's attached. Let me. Let's see. Ostree. So here you can see that it's pointing to my pulp here, my pulp instance. Since my content, we had two of them, two branches, two repositories. It has entries for both, and right now the update is technically I should be able to do an atomic update right now and consume the latest content from the branches it chose. So if I did like and I should be able to switch. I should be able to switch my origins depending on what I choose, and I should be able to say atomic update, get the latest update. It's sorry, it's pointing to the correct URL and everything, but there's a couple of issues with our code, that is a couple of bugs that will not make this work. But then the next demo I'll be able to show you an atomic upgrade and switching branches. That will show the full full workflow from consumer on the Katello side at least. In the next demo, once we have the provisioning parts also demoed, you'll actually be able to see the full workflow. That's pretty much it for now. Any questions? See comments here.
All right, Partha, thank you. If questions come in, just like others, I will send them along.
Okay.
So we'll switch back over to John. Hopefully his microphone is working to talk about the package groups conversion. No, only hearing static.
How about now?
That's much better.
Okay. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so part of the scope search conversion was to convert the package groups over, and that involved adding a new page to the UI. So if you go to the products page here, you can click on a repository, and you can click this number next to package groups, and you get a listing of the package groups. And there is now scope search on this, where you can search ID, name, repository. So it will search like that. And then another place that you will find that is the package group filters. So when you're adding a package group, you're also able to search by ID, name, and repository, like that. Other than that, there's not too much more to show. This is part of the converting all the way over to scope search, and distributions is finishing up, and currently working on subscriptions too. And that's really it.
Thank you, John. All right, so it doesn't look like there have been any questions on the app or any questions in IRC, other than something about tuna from Brian. I don't know if he's just testing or playing around, or his cat is hungry. But given that there are no other questions, I want to thank all of our presenters today for showing and coming along. Oh, hey, look, a real actual question. We will pause to answer this. Looks like it is for you, Partha. The question is, will we get hammer commands for search for free? Wait, maybe this is for the scope search? I'm not sure, Brian.
Yeah. Hammer search. We need to look into that. We haven't actually had any stories on that. Like, yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't looked into searching an Ostree repo. I don't know if Pulp supports it or where we can version the content itself. I'll find out from Jeff and let you know.
Okay, because I'm not honestly sure if he's asking in general, as in will hammer commands be able to search, or if he's asking for a specific feature. It looks like maybe another question is going to come in, so I'm going to give it just a second.
Okay.
Looks like he's clarifying his question to will we get search for free when by converting to scope search? And if John or Justin, if you happen to know, I personally don't know if Hammer magically brings in the ability to search by converting it to and defining the documentation for it.
Yeah, so you could search, assuming the parameter is there for a specific given controller, you could do the search previously with Hammer. It just used a different syntax than scope search. So we would just be changing the syntax.
All right, looks like we have another question. I'm guessing this is related maybe to what was shown during part of the remote execution, but the question is, will we be able to remove dead process, for instance, when subtasks fail?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I don't see when. No, still not sure.
Yeah. I'll wait just a second since the YouTube is a little delayed to see if there's clarification. If not, we can just take it. Hopefully, they can ask it and reply on the list. I'll just encourage, since we're at the end here, we will post to the Foreman users list for those watching with a copy of the demo, the agenda. So please ask follow-up questions there. All the presenters will monitor and try to answer any follow-up questions related to the demo. Again, thanks to all our presenters. Thanks for all those that attended and who watch this in the future. And we'll end it there.